Hello everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. We're diving into a distillery never before featured on this channel, and an exciting new release. One a bourbon, one an American whiskey. No, it's not Old Carter. It's Bull Run. Look out. We got bulls on the loose from Portland, Oregon. Surprised the criminals haven't ransacked this distillery that are running rampant out there. But hey, I guess they're still making whiskey. And we're going to determine if they're still making good whiskey. First up is this Seelbachs Bull Run. Okay, so like the label change here. This is kind of new. Total of 408 bottles. So at the time that I filmed this, some are still available. Okay, $100 a bottle for this. You might go, 100's getting pricey in this day and age, Bourbon Bill. What am I getting for my money? What you're getting is a 10-year-old bourbon at 109.22 proof. Compute 54.61%. alcohol by volume, and it's a 10-year-old Indiana bourbon. That's right, it's a 21% MGP mash bill, so that's their 21% rye, which is their low rye mash bill. So 10-year-old MGP bourbon at 109.22 proof, finished for 18 months in Cognac. That's right, another year and a half in terms of finishing on top. Now, sadly, they say that on Seelbachs' website. It doesn't say that here. It just says straight bourbon whiskey finished in Cognac cask, and it does say aged 10 years. It doesn't give you the finishing time. Doesn't tell you on here that this is MGP, because they're sneaky. On the back it just says produced and bottled by Bull Run. Produce is a tricky word. It does not mean distilled. This is MGP distillate, so don't be fooled by that. It doesn't say that anywhere on here. This is part of the Rare Cask Collection series, whatever you want to say about that. I think it's pretty cool. So we'll see. Because well-aged MGP bourbon plus an extended finishing time sounds pretty good. We'll see if it punches the ticket tonight. And then in the other corner here, a gift from my brother-in-law for Christmas, actually. So this one's been open a little bit. Is the Bull Run American whiskey, aged 15 years. This is a pick from Drug City in Maryland. So if you happen to be them, this is a pick from them. It is aged 15 years. It is American whiskey, so it's not bourbon, right? It's probably aged in some used barrels. It's a light whiskey-ish, if you will. This is finished for 11 months in sherry barrels. Okay, this one comes in at a little bit hotter. 125.22 proof. Compute 62.61%. Alcohol by volume. Also MGP. This is MGP, American whiskey. Again, they don't say. It just says produced and bottled. I don't like that. Come on, Bull Run. If you told people you're using MGP, people would be more about it. If they didn't know. If they didn't know, they're like, well, I don't know. How could it be? Funny enough, I thought these were the same bottle at first, but look. One's a little bit taller and skinnier, and one's shorter and stouter. The stouter one's packing a little more proof. So without further ado, you want to know how they taste. Oh, price on this bad boy, I don't know because it was a gift. I'm guessing it was around $70, give or take in there. And for 15-year American whiskey, that's not too shabby. Up first is our exclusive Seelbachs 10-year MGP finished in Cognac. Color, fairly light. For a 10-year straight bourbon, they must have used some low char barrels for this bad boy. Let's give it a whiff. Good Lord. Oh, she smells fantastic. This is crazy. There's so much going on here. So much. There's like blueberries. There's vanilla. There's grape on the nose. There's oak, and it's like a cigar box, like rich oak. Oh man, tobacco. I guess the word tobacco. It's like a cigar box tobacco type of scent going on. So you get a really well-aged like bourbon backbone here, like tobacco, cigar, a little bit of oak, and then you get like just all these fruits. That must be from the cognac. Let's take a sip. Oh my God, that is so good. Yeah. Okay, rating from Bourbon Bill, A++. Rating from Bourbon Bill for the price. It's absolutely fantastic. They knocked it out of the park with this one. What I said on the nose comes through in the palate. Burst of fruit. You get that tobacco, that rich oak up front, and then there's like another wave of fruit, more like vanilla, and then you get like, it goes back to some spice, and then there's a little bit of a balanced oak to finish it out. It's very good. It's not over oaked. If you're out here like, well, I like, Knob Creek 18 levels of well seasoned oak. That's not it. But this is got a good rich oak taste to it, and with the tobacco mixed together, intermixed with the berries, very viscous, pretty long finish for 109 proof. Gotta say, I'm here for this all day. This is, I mean, the fact that this didn't sell out immediately, people aren't paying attention. Okay, so hopefully now you are. Man, that's gonna be gone quick. Now, before we get on to the light whiskey, what could that possibly compare to, right? Look, I don't have any other cognac finishes. I don't really even have any like old MGP, except Remus Repeal Reserve 5, the best ever of the Remus Repeal series. Now, this is mostly like 13 to 16-year-old, roughly, MGP. At 100 proof. So that doesn't say barrel strength, it's 109. Maybe they cut it a little bit. This they clearly cut at 100. This was $80 back in 2021 when it was released. I mean, if this sold today, they're about 130 today for a Remus. So, the Seelbachs is cheaper. We'll put it here in the Gold Champions Glen. Now, I don't think these are going to be like identical because A, this is older and lower proof, but it's not finished. But we just want to get, how much of the MGP-ness is coming through. Now, there's a lot of 36% rye in here as well as a 21% rye. So that's a blend where the Seelbachs is all 21%. Oh, they are similar though. This one's just lacking that vanilla cigar fruit. So that's the difference. This carries more well-seasoned, like older bourbon notes in this one, but it's missing the fruit, like the tobacco, and like the cigar box type notes of this one. This also smells thicker, the Seelbachs. Let's take a sip of the Remus 5. Just a delicious chef's kiss of well-aged MGP perfection. A lot of well-seasoned oak, a lot of caramels, a little bit of spice in there. This is very good. I almost get like a little bit of an orange flavor, which I tend to get in really high-aged products. So this got a lot of 16-year in here. This is getting up there. Surprisingly, they're fairly close to me in terms of ranking. Now, they are a little bit different profiles, don't get me wrong. But you can't find any more Remus 5, right? So, and Remus 6 and 7 were crap. They were nowhere near this. They were like 9-year and like just also cut to 100 proof. This is a great opportunity to try a little bit older age MGP and then add in the greatness of the cognac finishing. So if this wasn't the best comparison, sorry, it's what I had to work with tonight, but this is still a buy and this is still a great pour. Before we move on to the American whiskey, one more comparison. Big shout out to Dave Vogel saying, thank you, sir. It's a sample of Old Carter bourbon, which we know is MGP. No age statement and not finished. And this one's 117 proof, batch 15. So I'm not sure if that's the latest batch of bourbons. Probably a newer batch of bourbon. We'll put that here in the green. So Old Carter bourbon is like $200, okay? And they have some that used to carry age statements, 12, 13, 14, 15 years. This one, these don't. No age statement on this. So guess what? If it was all 10-year in here, they would have put that on the bottle. So it's not. There's younger stuff in here. 200 doll hairs versus 100 with an age statement, with a finishing time age statement, at least on the website. Let's see if Old Carter can still hold up, or it's time to put this one to pasture. Smells more youthful in the nose. Sadly, this is not good. It's overall less interesting. It's just got some, caramel, vanilla, some like light fruit notes. It's just not smelling as old, as rich. And it's oh no, it is not as good of a nose as a Seelbachs 10-year. Let's take a sip. Okay, that is good, but it's not that good compared to the Seelbachs. The Old Carter is like vanilla, just caramel. It's just kind of like generic bourbon. There's nothing, finish isn't overly long at 117 proof. It's got a good mouthfeel. Kind of a short finish, and the flavors are just not that complex. Meanwhile, this thing here is like a dang roller coaster. Back to the Seelbachs. That Seelbachs absolutely crushes this Old Carter Batch 15 bourbon. No way in hell am I paying $200 for these when you can find cool, interesting crap like this. So there you go. And I'm not sponsored by anybody, so keep that in mind. I'm not out here, sponsored by Seelbachs or nothing. I'm just saying this is a great one. Old Carter Batch 15 is good, but nowhere near worth the price. Now, the 15-year American whiskey from Bull Run, aged in sherry barrels for 11 months. Let's dive in. Well, this smells like light whiskey / American whiskey to me. It's just very vanilla heavy, but this one's got like a cranberry nose. It's like vanilla cranberry. It's like cran vanilla, if that's a thing from Ocean Spray. The most caramel from your grandmother's Werther original stash. Let's take a sip. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. For an American whiskey, that's good. I'm not the biggest American whiskey fan, like from a standpoint of like, I would go probably bourbon, rye, and then American whiskeys as far as what I prefer flavor profile wise. But this is very good. It's more simplistic. It's very mouth coating. It's thick on the mouth, as we say. It's got the vanilla, tons of caramel, almost burnt caramel. And then like you get the sherry influence kind of at the end, in the middle to the end of the palate, carries through. It's very good. 122 proof. That drink's the same as this 109. That's really good. Bourbon Bill rating on that's a B+. I think at like 70 some doll hairs, it's pretty good. I'm just not the biggest American whiskey fan in total. That's all I'm saying there. But if you are, that's the flavors that are getting there, and that's a really good example with a nice age statement. Now, what do I have to compare for you for that? Thanks to, again, Dave Vogelsang, 2 Old Carter American whiskeys. Batch 11 and Batch 12. Batch 11 clocks in at 134.6 proof, and Batch 12, 133.3. So both higher than the Bull Run, but both missing an age statement of any kind. I don't know if I said it, but the Bull Run is, again, MGP light whiskey, or, American whiskey, whatever, finished in sherry. Old Carters are just MGP not finishing anything for 200 and some doll hairs each. Will the price difference be worth it? Stay tuned to find out. Batch 11 in the black, and then Batch 12 will be in the blue here. Batch 11 on the nose. Very similar to what we're getting on the Bull Run, honestly. But the Bull Run's got a better nose. I mean, it's just deeper, darker, and richer in the caramel. With the hint of sherry. Yeah, wow. I mean, nose to nose, the Old Carter is way worse. Let's take a sip. Okay, the Old Carter is very good. It dials back the vanilla, dials up the caramel, if that's possible. But for a higher proof, doesn't quite feel like it. And just lacks, it just kind of lacks a depth of flavor. Like it's got good flavor, but not great flavor. All right, back to the Bull Run American. Way better than Old Carter Batch 11. Not even close. For less than half price. What are you still doing buying Old Carter? Forget it. I'm never gonna buy another one again. Tell you that. At least not the old, not these non-age dated ones. It's not worth it. All right, batch 12, Old Carter American in the blue. Just kind of smells lacking again. It's just got, you know, they're similar. They got the vanilla, the caramels. It's American whiskey, right? It's light whiskey, but without the finishing and without an age statement, it's just not gonna be as rich as this Bull Run. No, it's not even close. That's the thing. All right, batch 12. Batch 12 is drinking hotter, even though it was actually one proof point less than batch 11. It picks up the flavor on the finish, so it's got a deeper flavor. So if you must buy Old Carter American, I would say batch 12 is better than batch 11. All right, batch 12 now compared to the sherry finished American. Not even close. Again, there's just so much more flavor. There's more vanilla, there's more caramel, there's more of the sherry, what I call, kind of tastes like cranberry on this one, but the more sherry note is available from start to mid to finish on this Bull Run American. Thank you again, Nate, for this one for Christmas. This is killer. I mean, what a killer value considering you just beat both batches of Old Carter American. If you haven't been paying attention to Bull Run, you should. Okay, because they're putting out really good stuff for the money. Now, again, this is a pick, so maybe they're not all equal, right? This is, you know, almost a year in sherry barrels. And then this, well, between the Bull Runs, which one do I like better? It's got to be the Seelbachs, honestly. I mean, again, I said I'm more of a bourbon guy than an American whiskey guy, but there's so much going on here. I mean, even if I was, you know, an American whiskey lover, as far as the palate goes, there's so much more going on in this Bull Run Cognac finish. I mean, it's got the oak, the tobacco, the fruits, the caramel. It's all there. It's got way more. Look, if you watch this video, quickly go out and buy one of these if there's any still left by the time this comes out. This was absolutely one that you should be afraid to miss. I don't say that. I don't think I've ever said that. I've always given you good alternatives. Say, hey, it's close, you know, if you can't find this. But there's nothing close to this out there right now. Where else are you going to find 10-year MGP aged for a year and a half in Cognac? You're not. And a $100 hair, it's a damn steal. So if you like what you saw tonight, please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Have a good evening, everybody.